So welcome to this class, and this I'm going to do different categories of producers, which we will be just referring to in national income accounting, but we should just have a view of this, that what are they. Okay, so like the corporate and the quasi-corporate, the general government sector, the household sector, and then even corporate and quasi-corporate, private enterprises, government enterprises, and private enterprises mainly for profit motive, and government enterprises as departmental and non-departmental, and all of that. So this is what we are going to do today. All right. So what are these producers? What are the categories of producers in the production process? Just to give a fair idea, just a little idea as to what are they. Okay, so I want you to just go through that. That was the NCRT, an old NCRT that I had, but I've just written it on this, if you can see it. So in this, all the producers in the domestic territory of any economy are divided into the following institutional categories according to the way they participate in the production of goods and services. So as you see, it is the corporate and the quasi-corporate enterprise. Then we have what is the general government, and then we have what is the households, which means they include unincorporated enterprises and private non-profit institutions serving households. So we will be doing that. So let's just take the corporate and the quasi-corporate enterprises. What are they? Okay, and in this we'll see that corporate enterprises are those which are recognized as business entities independent of their owners by virtue of what? Legislation, administrative regulations, or registration. And these are called corporations. And what are quasi-corporations? Well, they are also large, but they are unincorporated enterprises such as large partnerships, sole proprietorships, financial intermediaries such as banks and cooperative societies. Like corporations, they also maintain they have their complete profit and loss statements. And these non-profit institutions aim to serve. And yeah, even in this, we also have what is known as private non-profit institutions serving business enterprises, like the chambers of commerce and trade associations. Like I'm sure in India you've heard about ASSOCHAM, Association of Chambers of Commerce. You have heard about FICCI, FICCI, Federation of Indian Industries, and FIC, Corporation of India, something, FICCI, FICCI. So these are what? These are chambers of commerce and trade associations, which are non-profit institutions serving business enterprises. And well, they are mainly financed and controlled by business enterprises, and they are like huge big clubs, and they are part of this sector. And these private non-profit institutions aim to serve the members and not to make profits. So that is why they are called so. And generally these are the corporate and the quasi-corporate enterprises. They are generally for profit motive. And then we come to what is the government enterprises also are there, in which we have what is known as railways, which are departmental and non-departmental. So these were private enterprises. So we have public enterprises, which are, we call them public enterprises. So what are they? They are like departmental and non-departmental. So in departmental we have these post and telegraphs and railways. They do not, it's something like that. It has to be remembered that these government owned enterprises produce goods and services for market just like private business establishments. The inputs they utilize and the technologies they employ are similar to the ones used by the private sector enterprises. So, if you're talking about non-departmental, yes, they have to make absolute profit. But departmental, yes, reasonable profits is expected out of them. But sometimes these may not even cover their cost of production because of their social and economic policy. So, talking about non-departmental enterprises, they consist of both financial and non-financial enterprises. Financial corporations like the Industrial Finance Corporation of India, Industrial Development Bank of India, state financial corporations, insurance companies like the Life Insurance Corporation of India, all public sector commercial banks are some examples of financial enterprises. And we also have huge corporations like the BHEL, Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited, or Air India, Indian Airlines, FCI, Food Corporation of India, State Trading STC, that is State Trading Corporations, etc. So we finished with the first part, that is corporate and the quasi-corporate, and in this we talked about both private enterprises and government enterprises. So that's what it is.